Please confirm if you can hear me. All right, awesome, great. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone to our orientation, the introductory class for this cohort of Cactus Bootcamp. I'm just going to run through some introduction. You get to meet some of the instructors, and we're going to set some expectations as to what the program is going to look like. So quick introduction. My name is Susan, and I happen to be the founder of Cactus um, Tech. I believe you guys can see my slide. Just thumbs up if you can see my slide. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So, my career actually started in 2014. I was opportune to go study computer information technology in the US. And I've worked in a couple of places, some of them listed on here. The last 9 years. So have years of experience in the industry. I also currently still work. I work a 9 to 5 with a company in the US while also running Cactus Tech. Just a little introduction about Cactus. The idea kind of came when I went to uni and I saw the huge gap in our education system, especially when it came to computer science, technology, especially as we know technology is advancing rapidly and it's taking over so many industries. And I could just see that um, there was so much difference between myself coming from Nigeria and people who actually went to high school, or as we know it, secondary school there. Coming into the same program I was coming into, they already had some background knowledge of these things. They already had some background knowledge in programming, in design, and I was coming completely uh, as a novice. And then also, while I was in school, I was also keeping up with my friends, and I could see that the things I was learning was very different from what was being offered in Nigeria. So I always had this interest in finding a way to bridge that gap, right? Um, and which is kind of where the idea for this Cactus Tech began. Also, I got to see that even as I entered the job market, I got to see that some of my peers, my colleagues at work, didn't even have a degree, right? They didn't even have a computer science degree. They probably just had either a certification or just did some self learning and could show and prove their skills, and they got the same job that I did without the degree that I had to go through. So just seeing that kind of sparked that in me. Then also there is a high demand for tech talents globally, and we're going to look at some stats as we go along. And I just feel like more people need to be aware of this. And I've been fortunate to connect with some splendid um, techies on my journey who have come alongside me to say, hey, let's do this thing together. So at Cactus Tech, we are a team of technology experts, and you get to meet some of them on the call. Passionate about seeing young Nigerians take advantage of the opportunities available in the tech industry globally. We believe that anyone, regardless of their background, can build wealth with the vast opportunities tech has to offer. And the only thing keeping people from these opportunities is the right education, which is what we're offering here at Cactus Tech. So just a little background as to what tech is all about. I know tech is buzzing right now. So many people are talking about tech. And despite the fact that it's buzzing, there can be some misconceptions or misunderstandings as to what the concept of tech is. So I just want to do a little definition, introduction into what tech is all about. So tech is just an informal way of saying technology. That's really all it is. It's just a word that has been coined out of technology and has become like mainstream. So when someone says they work in tech or they want to work in tech, they just are saying they work in the technology industry. And The technology industry is a collection of businesses and organizations that create and capture value using technology. So it's not just those people building um, new innovations and new technological devices or softwares uh, that we would say are working in the technology industry. Even people who are in healthcare, in agriculture, in finance, anyone who is on the side of the organization where their work is focused more on the technological aspect of things, they are in the tech industry. As you can imagine, this makes it like a really broad industry. So you would see even someone who's a software engineer working in healthcare, or someone in cybersecurity working in government, because technology is being used everywhere right now. That moves me into some of the benefits of a career in tech. Um, I I like to say that you won't get this much benefit in any other industry as you would in technology. And there are a few points to that. The first one is low barrier entry. Um, just like I mentioned earlier, when I started out, I met and I still meet people who don't even have computer science degrees, but they're able to function in one form or the other in the technology industry because it has low barrier entry. So because there's high demand for talent, companies are not as strict in their expectations of certifications or degrees and whatnot. What they most of the time look out for is, can you show your experience? Do you have a portfolio to show that you can do this? That's why you see people who even self learn and build projects and they're able to land like really good tech jobs. So it has a low barrier entry. And another thing is the pay is good. According to ZPR, 85% of people um, who work in the tech industry, rather, employees earn more, up to 85%, than other people. So people working in tech, a lot of times they earn higher than people who are working in other non-tech roles. And this is true everywhere. It's not just in some places. Everywhere, the pay is always really better than any other industry you find yourself in. Also, it offers flexibility. So, because a lot of the roles that tech roles can be done remotely. Now, not all of them actually can be done remotely, but I would say about 85-90% of technology roles can be done remotely. And because this is the case, it offers that flexibility where you can work wherever you are. You don't even have to be in the same city as your company is, or even in the same continent as your company is. So it offers that flexibility of location and working hours. Also offers work-life balance in the sense that you have more control of your schedule. Because again, you don't have to go resuming into an office, so you can decide how you want to organize your schedule and how you want your work to balance out with your life. Then there is the aspect of job security, because this is something that is needed in every industry. Once you have the right skills, you can't be out of a job. And despite there's currently a buzz of layoffs and happening here and there and all that, and it might want to seem like, oh, there's no job security. Actually, that's not the case, because if you watch out for a lot of the layoffs happening, they're usually in more like big tech companies. And but looking at stats still, there are still jobs that are not in traditional tech companies that are available. So yes, there might be layoffs happening and all that, but there's still that job security, because almost every industry, in fact every industry, uses technology. For take myself as an example, when I finished out in university, my very first job, a tech job was at a hospital. And initially I didn't, my mind didn't even go there because I was looking for the more traditional jobs. I was trying to get into, Google, Microsoft and all the likes. But the reality is that every industry needs tech talent, so there is job security. And then there is also a massive jackpot opportunity. I know a lot of people are looking for ways to leave the country, searching for greener pastures. I always tell people, if you're going to relocate, make sure that you are prepared, because what ends up happening is a lot of times people don't go prepared, so they end up doing like odd jobs or caregiving jobs, whereas they could have gone with tech skills and be earning big. Because again, although many countries require like you to come and get their own trainings and skills before you can work. For example, if you did engineering in Nigeria, if you go to Canada, you can't use that certificate just to get a job. You would have to um have some trainings and certifications done there. But that's not the case in the tech industry because there is high demand. So there is that opportunity to travel with a tech degree. And also, many countries are beginning to do what they call tech visas. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tech Nation that UK is doing. Canada is doing something similar. I see a few people raising hands. We'll take questions towards the end. Um, but again, as I was saying, so the UK has a visa called Tech Nation, specifically for tech talents. Canada has the same a very similar program, and many countries in Europe are doing the same because they need talents, right? So this is an opportunity for someone who is looking to relocate to get that skill that can help them relocate. I remember a friend was telling me of someone that they kind of got into tech together. They learned UI, UX, and all that. It was telling me of how currently she's in Germany. She was fully sponsored to travel and relocate to Germany because the company that hired her needed her skills. So she didn't have to bear the cost of relocating. That's talking about flights, talking about accommodation. The company settled all that. So there's that massive opportunity if that's something you are interested in, right? So talking more about the opportunities, the tech industry is incredibly broad, like I have mentioned. We're going to share a link right now on please go ahead and share that link, Rosemary. You can copy it and go over it after this call. You're going to see a bunch of careers that are available in the tech industry. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, it estimates that between 2021 and 2031, jobs for cybersecurity will grow by 35% and software developers by 25%, both outpacing the average 5% growth. Now, this statistics is just for America alone, just for the US alone. So you can imagine what that would look like on a global level, right? And just in the US alone, there are about 1.4 million tech jobs that are not currently filled. So there are companies looking for talents, they've posted the jobs, but nobody's taking it because there is that scarcity of skilled talent. And that's why the opportunity is immense. And anybody who is looking to build a career in tech is on the right track because it's not going anywhere. It's going to be here. In fact, technology is here to stay and it's shaping the future. So it's one that comes with a lot of assurance and security. Um, so I'm just going to pass the mic, pass the virtual mic to Xavier. He's one of our instructors, just to introduce himself, share a little bit about his story, and then we'll get to meet some of the other instructors as well and go over what the program entails. So, Xavier, please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone can hear me.
Xavier, your mic sounds
Yeah,
distant.
if you can hear me, please thumbs up.
Okay, it's better.
You can hear me, please. Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. So, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Savior, and I'm currently a backend engineer at CarryFest. CarryFest is the leading game publishers in Africa, and um, I want to use this opportunity to talk about my personal tech story, how I got into tech, my success story, how it has been, and why a program like this is what I would have needed to get me here sooner. So, the earliest memory I can remember myself being really interested in tech was around 2012. I got this, I played a lot of games then, and I said to myself, I wanted to make games. As of 2012, I didn't have a lot of resources around me to know what I needed to make games. I just assumed that one day I'll figure it out in university or something. Fast forward to, let's say, 3 years later, 2015, I was still in the same shoes. I still know I wanted to make games, but I'm not yet figured out myself. That was when I met my friend, who is also an instructor in this program, Eric. After some conversations with Eric, and Eric was into the tech space, into web development. Wanted to make games, but I didn't know what I needed. Eric now kind of guided me, pointed out some technologies I started learning. After some phases of learning, in around 2018, I started my career as a backend developer. Yes, I did not end up as a game developer, but the guidance, the mentorship provided by Eric led me to discover other aspects that I was equally good at that I could pursue. So that's why a program like what Cactus is offering is really good. You might have an idea of the tech space is really broad. There are tons of careers, tapped careers are tapped and untapped markets in this tech industry. They are the ones that always sound flashy, cybersecurity and all the rest. Most people go there. But you among them, there are equally careers like data analysis, data science, data engineering, programming, product design, project management that nobody you don't know you are good at it until you try. So that's why a program like Cactus that has instructors and both has a mentorship program. With the mentors, with the instructors will help you identify your strengths and where you should focus most of your career. You might start up as like earlier in my career, I tried front end. I knew that I wasn't really good at front end, and that's when I discovered my strongest suit was back end. And I created a career around back end, and now I'm a back end engineer in a gaming company. My companies make games, but I still find a very comfortable and satisfying sport to work as a back end engineer in a gaming industry. So that's what Susan said that there are many non-tech industries. There's the aviation, there's the medicine, there is the education that needs tech. We hear fintech, finance that has tech. So we have a lot of career uh, potentials as someone in tech. If you are not a developer, you could be a designer. If you're not a designer, you could be a product manager. You could be into customer service. You could be into technical writing. The opportunities are endless. And how do you get there? You start here. You start in a program like this. You pick a course that, like what Castle is offering, you follow through the course, you meet your instructors, you learn, you collaborate with your colleagues, you get to build something awesome. And in the tech space, there's a lot of noise. There is today you hear about this programming language. Tomorrow there's a new one that is better. This programming, there's this framework. Next tomorrow there's a new one. There's this platform. Next tomorrow there's a new one. Those things are, if you look in deep with someone that has a foot in tech, you discover that they're all the same but different flavors. So when you understand what powers the framework, what the basics of JavaScript, for example, the basics of Java, the basics of front end, you will not get distracted by every noise that comes. You will be equipped that if you have a job as a React developer today, you work. If you switch to another company that uses another framework, but you understand how React works, how it works under the hood, you still excel, you still thrive. And that's what Cactus is offering. We are not teaching you the flashy things, the trends that might not be useful. What we are teaching is the things that you yourself can even go and build your own framework by yourself. You can build your own libraries. I have colleagues, I have friends that have built their own internal libraries that they use for their own development. You can even monetize those libraries that you have built, and that's how you make your own career. And tech is one of the industries that even if you don't get a job, you can start off something like Facebook, um, look, Google, Microsoft. Those were the early comers, so to speak, into tech that started up something for themselves. You could see a solution that you could solve and you monetize it. And monetizing anything you build in tech is very easy. You just have to solve the problem, and your contributions in the tech space must make somebody thrive or make somebody survive. That way you could even not work in a traditional job industry but run your own business, run your own startup, run your own company. I have i have a friend, I have people that have transitioned from other non-tech careers. I have a friend that is a pharmacist, but now he's working in tech as a product designer. I have a friend that is studied maths and now he's a backend developer. So the potentials you have in tech is not limited to what you see today, and there are tech jobs that keep opening tomorrow. So you are rarely ever out of job in the tech field. Yeah, the jobs keeps coming. As long as you know your stuff, as long as you put in the work, as long as you are good, the jobs will come and the right jobs will always find you. I think that is all from me, and I'm looking forward to interacting with you during the Q&A section.
All right. Thank you, Savior. So I'll just go ahead and let the other instructors introduce themselves. Just quickly, let us know a bit about your background and what you will be teaching us during this cohort. So, starting with Favor, I believe.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Shiva Vivian Walker. I'm a front-end developer at Has Africa. Okay, during this boot camp, I'll be your instructor on front-end development. Thank you.
All right, Michael.
All right, sure. That's fine. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I just confirm that everyone can hear me. Please, someone should just
Yes.
give me a thumbs up. All right, fine. Okay. So, yeah, like the name, as I think the name is clear written there. My name is Michael Jim. I'm a software engineer. Uh, I would claim full stack developer. Yeah, because but as more recent, I would say I've been focused on backend. But previously, I used to do a lot more with the front end, with front end frameworks and even mobile. But yeah, but currently I've been fully, uh, yeah, I've been fully focused on working with backend technology and providing solutions basically on the backend side of things. Yeah. So a little just about me. Yeah, I'm primarily based working in the fintech sector. Yeah, so yeah, we guys provide a lot of solutions for payments. And yeah, there is my main company which I work in. where we actually maintain um, everything that happens for a specific month. Well, there's a microphone, on top, but yeah, everything that needs to be done in there. Yeah, so that's the primary thing which I do. Uh, yeah, I got another gig on the side that yeah, which we built a payment service provider, which obviously integrates with multiple payments gateways and payment solutions. That processes a lot of money actually. Payment gets actually processing like dollars. So yeah, there's a lot going through that. So yeah, there's all of that experience basically that just um comes with it working on that specific project. But it's all fine. Well, I think that's what I mean. I would be your Java instructor. Oh yeah, primarily your Java. I'll be a primary Java instructor. So I'll be taking you guys in on the backend side of Java. Anyone that's enrolled currently for Java, and I think I'll also be assisted with uh, the students also going through the JavaScript routes because yeah, basically the whole story thing has been something I've been doing for a couple of years on the side as well as my main job. So yeah, the tutoring is something that comes easy for me. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that's the basic gist about me. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for this.
All right. Thank you, Michael and Eric. Please go ahead.
Oh, hi, following protocol, please give a thumbs up if you can hear me. Um, can everybody hear me? All right, awesome. Thank you. So my name, thank you. So my name is Eric Aprioku, and I am a full stack developer. I've been working in the full stack, I mean, in the web development space since 2014. I mean, that when I did my first Hello World as well. I have a lot of experience working on both front end and back end. I do both of those on the daily. I currently work for a fintech company in the US where we build banking solutions. I mean, neo banking solutions and banking as a service for the American market. And I'm also building my own personal startup called AsyncPay, which is what I'm wearing on the t-shirt in the picture, which is basically a fintech in Nigeria, which is basically what I did with that is I built a route, a switch that can combine to different payment gateways from one singular connection. So yeah, like I said, I have a lot of experience on both front end and back end, and in the class I'll be assisting, if need be, on the front end class, on the front end side of things. So yeah, I think that's a little summary of me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys for those wonderful introductions. So, just going over a few more things. Um, Today's class is not going to be too long as it's just more of introduction. The next classes you will have them with your specific instructor and be going over some um, like actual like learning and projects and tasks and stuff like that. But I also wanted to share this a bit because at Cactus Tech we don't just focus on the technical skills or the hard skills. We emphasize soft skills as well. So part of what we do is besides you just learning the languages, learning the framework, we ensure that we're providing support, career readiness. And one of the things we like to share is some tips for transitioning into tech. It's more than just you deciding to take a course. There are a couple of things that are involved. One of that is discovering your niche and interest. And so this is something that happens over an iterative process. You might do like a few courses here and there before you finally realize, okay, this is where I'm more interested in, or this is where I'm more interested in. But it's important to discover your niche because there are so many options and it's easy to get lost trying multiple things. It's usually quicker to figure out what area you want to primary on, what area you want to focus on, and delve deeper into that, as opposed to trying this and trying that, and just you end up spending maybe a year just on trial and error, right? So it's important to discover your niche, discover your interests, and we can help you with that. We do offer coaching services, and anyone who might be interested in that, you can let us know. We are able to guide you. Another thing is you have to build your technical skills, which is, I believe, why many of you are here today. You want to build those technical skills, you want to build your frameworks and languages. Another thing is you have to build your network. This one is one that many techies I would say underestimate the power of, because people are the gateway to opportunities. A lot of opportunities you will get access to is by the people you know. So it's very important that as you're learning, you're also building your network. And that's one thing that we advocate for on here. We advocate for people to connect with their peers, connect with your instructors, connect with other people in within the community, whether it's online, offline, tech meetings, webinars, events. It's very important, because again, people are the gateway to opportunities. There's something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of times when companies are looking for talent, before they even put out the job opening, they would share it within their network, right? They would ask their employees, hey, do you know someone who might be able to fill this role, might be able to fill that role? And so even when the job is posted, they might already have someone in mind because someone within their network has already shown interest in it. So it's very, very important to build your network. Your skills are important, but your network is more important, because with the right network, you can learn on the job. When you have the right network, there will be a higher chance for an employer to offer you a job that you don't meet all the qualifications for, because they know you. So, or they know someone that knows you. So it's very important. Another thing is to have a mentor or a coach, and that's something we also provide in Cactus Tech. It's very important because, again, there's this saying that says follow who know road, right? And the reason is because when you follow someone that knows the road, the journey is faster, the journey is shorter. You won't make as many mistakes um as you would if you're doing it on your own. So it's important to have a mentor, to have someone who can guide you and support you on this journey, because trust me, there will be times where you feel like giving up. There will be times where you feel like you you are not qualified. There would be times where imposter syndrome would want to kick in and be like, you're not qualified for what you're doing. But having that mentorship, having that coach is going to keep you going and keep you like on track. The other thing is to build a portfolio. I've noticed something, especially with people in Nigeria. We are so driven by certificates that we can even sometimes miss that companies don't care about your certificate. Let me just tell you right now. Most of the time, the only time anyone will ask you to show the certificates that you have is maybe when you just finished school. After that, no one is asking you for your certificate. And it even becomes worse when you're looking at tech jobs. They don't care for your certificate. What they want to see is your portfolio. What have you built? What projects have you done? What things can you show that, oh, I have this skill, I know how to do this? Because people can have certificates and don't know how to do the job. So it's very important that as you are on this journey, you are building your portfolio. Every little thing you work on, add it on there onto your portfolio. Make noise about it on your LinkedIn. Those things go a long way in helping you land roles. And then finally, discipline. It's very important. I've seen people come through Cactus and a few weeks in, they are not as consistent. or they even completely drop out, which is part of why we're doing this 1 week, because we want you to come and experience, come and see, can I keep up with this work? Because it's an investment of your time, and you have to be disciplined if you're going to get the result you want. If you're just going to do it haphazardly, you're not going to go far. So it's very important that you have discipline, because discipline and commitment is going to determine your success. We're here to support you as much as we can, but if you are not putting in the time, you are not putting in the effort, then it's just going to be an uphill battle. So discipline is very important to anyone who wants to get into the tech industry. So I'm just going to run through the programs a little bit. I'm sure many of you have already seen this when you were applying, but I'm just going to run it through it briefly, let you know how long it's going to last and all that. So the Tech Beginner program, I'm going to be the one taking the classes, and the classes are going to run for about 10 to 12 weeks. And then also the front end is going to be running for about 12 weeks as well. Favor is going to be the main instructor for that. However, she's going to have also Eric and Savior supporting if there is need for extra hands or needs for extra guidance for any student. They're here to support. For the back end Java, it's primarily going to be Michael. Then back end Node.js is primarily going to be Savior. So the back end classes are also 3 months, about 12 weeks. But then the full stack program, because that's full stack, it's a combination of both. It's going to be going on for 20 weeks, about 5 months. And both Favor and Savior are going to be the ones handling the classes. Now, when it comes to these programs, right, you will definitely gain employable tech skills. Now, I want to highlight this because a lot of times people come in thinking, oh, I'll just take one course and the next thing I'm making millions or I'm working for a big tech company. It's not, let me just tell you right now, it doesn't work that way. You have to, as you build the skill, you have to probably get an internship first. So, which is something we can help you and guide you on how to. You have to get an internship first, or a trainee program first before you can even get a job. But the thing is, you will definitely get skills that are in demand in the market. So it's not one of those things where you're going to learn something that won't be relevant to the job market. It's going to be relevant to the job market. So you're going to gain employable tech skills. And you're going to have support of instructors who are experts in their industries. This is something I'm big on. I've had a few other instructors approach me and people recommend other people. But if I don't see that that person has the necessary industry experience, I'm not inclined to, because if you don't have that experience, how are you going to guide our students to get into the industry? So with our instructors, you are guaranteed that you have people who are experts in their industries. They know what the market is looking for. They are on the job and they're going to be able to guide you and support you to ensure that you have what it takes to get into that market as well. Also, you have a community to grow with, your peers, the instructors, myself. We're all here to support and help you grow. There's also career coaching. So in addition to the trainings, we do coaching sessions with each student. So you'll have the opportunity to do one-on-ones with myself and one-on-ones with your instructors as well when it comes to helping you develop your resume or CV, helping you building your project, helping you prepare for interviews. We're able to support you with that. And also from the get-go, you would start building a portfolio. From the very beginning of the program, you'll start building a portfolio. And the classes are instructor led, so it's not one of those where we just give you videos to watch. We're not going to do that. We're going to support you, even if here and there there might be videos to watch. There would still be live instructor led classes, classes where you get to interact with the instructors to help you, because it's very, very important. Some people are able to do it on their own. There are a few people that they don't need us. They can just go on YouTube and binge on a couple of tutorials and videos and they are in. But that's not the case for most people. Most people require support, and we are here to support you. So what's next? What follows today's meeting and class? You'll get to meet your specific class groups. So the next time you'll have class will be on Saturday. The information for that will be shared with everyone, so that you can join in. But for that class, you would get to meet your instructor. You would go over the syllabus for the program and start working immediately, start learning immediately. You're going to hit the ground running as quickly as the classes begin. We'll go over some introductory lessons for the next classes, but then after that is when the deadline for payments would come up. And as we mentioned, the deadline for payments is the end of the month. So we're giving you opportunity to come learn a few things for free. However, to keep this running, payments have to be made. So once payments is made, then you would be fully set up with our schedule. We'll set you up with the Google Classroom and stuff. We'll also set you up with Slack. I don't know if any of you is familiar with Slack, but Slack is the industry standard for collaboration and communication among many teams. So you get to learn how to use Slack. That's where you will get to communicate with your instructors via messaging. You also get to communicate with your peers in class, and every other information that we would need to communicate with you will be communicated on Slack, right? And then once that is done as well, and we know how many people are fully into the program, then we would finalize on a weekly schedule. So what's going to happen is, on each Slack channel, the instructors will let you know their availabilities, and the students will be able to vote on what days of the week and times of the week would work. So we see what works for most people, so that most people are able to attend the class. And again, once we know who is already in the program, who has committed to it, it will be easy for us to finalize all those details. So those are kind of the next steps after today. And yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to set some expectations for what we expect from you. This is a learning environment, so there are certain things we expect. We are not here to play. We're not joking around. The instructors are going to be investing their time, and we expect that if you are committing to the program, you're ready to invest your time, you're ready to learn. So we expect a readiness to learn and to be prepared for class. We don't really fancy lateness, because and poor time management, because it does take away from the schedule, right? So if you are constantly showing up to class late or constantly missing out, you're going to be dragging the rest of the class back. You're going to be dragging the instructor back. So we highly recommend that before you come, be sure that you are ready to commit to this thing. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Be sure that you are ready to do the work. So you also have to value time, be on time, make the best use of the time that you'll have with your instructors. There will be tasks and assignments given. Ensure that you submit them on time. Also ensure that you are a team player. Be ready to contribute to discussions and group projects. There's a saying that goes, teamwork makes the dream work, right? The team is actually what determines the result, and how you perform even in this setting will translate to how you perform on a job. So from now on, from this program, ensure that you are someone who is ready to collaborate with others, and then also be respectful. I know we are all adults here, so it's important that we respect one another. our communication should be respectful. It just ensures that the program goes smoothly and there's no issues. So that's pretty much it from my end. I would say, for anyone who's wanting to get into the tech industry, stop dreaming and start doing the work. Start doing what it's going to take for you to realize your dreams, right? With that, I've come to the end, and we'll open the floor for questions, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you have. Thank you. Does anyone have questions? Please go ahead.
Please, can I? My name is Fatoki Abil. Please, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes, please.
So, thank you, and we really appreciate your effort. So, my own question is this program covering both front end and back end? And is it intensive training or just ordinary training like that? So, but because this is the first time I've been participating in something like this,
All
so
right.
I
So,
don't know.
okay. All right. Do you have any other question?
What do you say?
Is that all the questions you have? Can I
Yes,
go
that's
ahead?
the question. Yes, that's
All
the
right.
question.
So, it depends on what you signed up for. So there's
Okay.
options to sign up for just front end, just back end, or full stack. But after
Okay.
this call, you can send me a message. Let's check and see what you signed up for. If you did sign up for full stack or front
Okay.
end, we can correct that if maybe you want full stack. And yes, this
Okay.
is an intensive program. So the hours per week are not too intensive. I would say you should be ready to commit about 10 hours of work per week. So that includes about
Sure.
5 hours of learning time in class with your instructors and 5 hours of you doing work on your own,
Sure.
assignments, projects, tasks, and stuff like that. So in that sense, it's not intensive, but it is intensive in the sense that it's going to go on for a long period of time, and you're going to go in depth into the course material. Does that answer your question?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I see someone's hand raised. Please go ahead. Fun, if you're speaking, your mic is muted.
Sorry it took so long. Good evening. My name is Anthony. So I want to ask the syllables for the program. Are we going to be given
Yeah.
when?
Yeah, so so the syllabus will be given when payment has been made, right? So that's where the whole Google setup would come in. So we would share with you like a calendar, we would share with you some Google Drives that contain some materials and including the syllabus. So yes, you will be given the syllabus. However, before the deadline for payment, the instructor will go over the syllabus with you in class. So you get to see it, but we're not going to give it to anyone who hasn't made payment, if that makes sense.
Okay, and then for this free class, right? Is it
Yes.
just going to be um Wednesday, Saturday, and the next Wednesday, or what's this schedule like?
Yeah, so that scheduling aspect is going to be Saturday for sure, because I know a lot more people have time on Saturday. And then the next class, let me look at the calendar. The next class after Saturday would likely be on uh Monday or Wednesday. So it will depend, because now we're going to be splitting classes, right? So it will depend on the day that the instructor is available. We'll make it at a time that would work, like in the evenings like this, right? But it will depend on the day that the instructor would be available and on the class group per se. So Yeah.
Okay, then when we like start normal classes, you said
Mm-hmm.
it is 10 hours a week, right?
Yes.
Okay, for the ten
So I would
hours,
say
what's the
anticipate 10 hours.
I didn't get you.
All right. So I said you should anticipate to commit about 10 hours. And you were going to say what the 10 hours would entail, right?
No, I was going to ask how you would divide. Is it you're dividing the like 10 hours into if we're having classes twice a week, that would be 5 hours, 5 hours, or it is daily
No.
2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, or
No, no. So what I mean when I say be ready to invest about 10 hours is that's both class time and your time learning, right? Because outside the class, you would have tasks to do. You would have materials to go over. You might even want to go over the lesson again. So the class itself would be about 5 hours a week. 5 to 6 hours a week. But then on your own time outside of class, you would still need to do some work. So let's say for a full stack, you're meeting 2 or 3 times a week. If you're meeting 2 times a week, then class would be for about 2.5 2 hours. If you're meeting 3 times a week, the classes would be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Does that make sense?
yeah, thank you.
Yes. So basically there is hours for class, but then it's not going to end in class. That's why I say anticipate about 10 hours. Any other questions?
Man, I want to make suggestion. Sorry.
All right.
My suggestion is that, and the other time you talk of like talking to our this thing, our our mates. So are you going to
Mm-hmm.
create another platform for us so that we'll be able to get a network between us, maybe when we are having issues or those stuff? You understand? This thing is all about
Yes.
sharing ideas with each other.
Yes. Yes. And yes, we're going to do that. And that's where the platform Slack comes in. So we're going to definitely create a chat room or a group for peers and instructors to connect. And we're going to be using Slack. So Slack, you get to know more about it if you haven't used it before. But it's important to know how to use it because a lot of times when you are on the job, communication most of the time happens on Slack channel. So for example, the company I work for, we use Slack to communicate with the team members. And so it's good to start knowing how to use it even before then. So there will be collaboration among peers, but it's going to happen on Slack. And will definitely show you how to use it and how to get on it if you haven't used it before. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, then. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, it seems you're saying that the syllables, because when I mean syllables, kind of talking about the things that will be taught, right? So
Yeah.
if you're saying the syllables will only be like given like during our personal classes with our tutor, us because what if somebody wants to lean towards another thing? Maybe you want to start as a front end developer and then lean towards the full stack or something of that sort. I was thinking maybe the syllables can be given like in in a group, so to say, so that in case you want
Okay,
to
so like
start
go
full
over
stack, you
both
have a
syllabus.
yeah, and make an informed decision.
Okay. All right. So actually with the full stack and front end, because full stack starts from front end to back end, the plan is to have full stack and front end start together before back the full stack students then proceed to back end. So for those students who are in those programs, which is actually most people on here, most people did sign up for front end and full stack. You will get to see both. So the next class, when classes are starting, you get to see both syllabus. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. All right. Is there any other questions? Any other questions? All right. I take it there is no questions. If you haven't already, if you want to check out the link I shared earlier, please copy it, because once the call ends, the link will be gone. So just copy it off the chat now, and we'll see you in the next class. The information for that will be communicated to you. All right. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined. And we look forward to having you on board fully. Right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.